evening. Thank you very much for joining us at this very special pre-conference workshop as a kick-starting point for our international conference on translating and interpreting China. Thank you for joining us today despite of the typhoon. Today we have three special guests. We have Mr. Shudong flying all the way from the New York headquarters of the United Nations. He has been working for the United Nations for nearly 2 decades, and he's not just only a senior translator, but also a senior reviser, and also he has been taking charge of the learning and training in the United headquarters, and we hope very much that we can learn from him today. Thank you very much for coming all the way. Thank you. Our second speaker today will be Ms. Jacqueline Fu. If you listen to the simultaneous interpreting of the Hong Kong government, you will be able to recognize her voice easily because she has been serving for the Hong Kong government ever since 1997 as the chief simultaneous interpreter. Last but not least, we have another special guest from Macau, Professor Victoria Lai. She wears many hats. First of all, she's working very, very hard on her research relating to MRI, decoding the black box of interpreters, and she's very keen on the neuroscience aspect of interpreting to start with. And then she's also an amazing practitioner in the field of interpreting, interpreted for top officials like President Xi Jinping. So we are very, very happy that she will join us today to share her experience. Thank you. My name is Janice Pan, by the way, from Baptist University. And tonight we will listen to each of them. After that, we are going to have a round table, which will be followed by a short Q&A. So please stay till the last minute. So without further ado, I'd like to give the mic to Mr. Shudong. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice, Dr. Yao. Colleagues, it's a great honor and privilege to be invited to this excellent university to talk about our profession, the work we do at the United Nations. As you know, United Nations is perhaps the largest international organization in the world. So from the very beginning, multilingualism is one of the founding principles and a core value of the United Nations. In 1946, the United Nations General Assembly decided that in all organs of the United Nations, other than the International Court of Justice, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish shall be the official languages, and English and French shall be the working languages. So we have 2 working languages at the United Nations, and then in 1973, Arabic was added to the official languages. So now we have 6 official languages. Since the United Nations system is very huge, and we have 193 member states and 2 observer states. That's the Holy See and Palestine. So we need multilingualism to facilitate decision making, to help with formulating policies, planning and budgeting, reporting, implementing programs, and to achieve results. From this chart, you can see that we have many organs and subsidiary organs at the United Nations. Right? So first we have 6 principal organs: General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Secretariat, International Court of Justice, and Trusteeship Council. And then we have many subsidiary organs like Disarmament Commission, Human Rights Council, and we have funds and programs. For example, the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, UNEP, United Nations Environment Program in Nairobi, and UNICEF, the Children's Fund, and also UNESCO. You all know UNESCO. You probably often hear about the UNESCO, and that's in Paris. And then we have like counter-terrorism committee and other subsidiary organs. And we also have functional commissions and regional commissions. For example, ESCAP in Bangkok. So Secretariat, the UN Secretariat provides all the secretariat services. And for our translation teams, we are part of DGSEM, Department for General Assembly and Conference Management. So most of us work in New York, and but we also have teams, smaller teams, working in other duty stations, like United Nations office at Geneva, or UN office at Nairobi, Yunnan, and Vienna, and also we have a smaller Chinese translation team working in Bangkok, ESCAP. So I'm going to show you a video of DGSEM.
We are DGACM, the Department for General Assembly and Conference Management at the United Nations. When nations meet on the global stage to seek multilateral solutions to the pressing issues facing humanity, we are working behind the scenes. Peace and security, gender equality, human rights, climate action, sustainable development. We make sure the dialogue takes place in the 6 official languages of the United Nations. We make sure everyone is in the right place at the right time. We are a multinational staff of 1,800 people working at 4 duty stations. Every year, we edit, translate, and process millions of words. We interpret thousands of hours of live speeches. We provide support and procedural guidance for tens of thousands of meetings. In an ever-changing world, we are always pursuing opportunities through innovation to better support member states. DGACM, making sure the global conversation continues.
Like I said, we have 4 duty stations other than New York, and also we have ESCAP. So we have teams in all these places. So where we come from, in the history of the Chinese translation team at the United Nations, there are 3 different periods. Before and after 1949, most Chinese translators were recruited from the overseas Chinese students, scholars. Some of them were teachers, mainly from Hong Kong and Taiwan. And then in 1971, the UN General Assembly decided to restore all the lawful rights of the People's Republic of China. and decided to recognize only the representatives of PRC government as the only legitimate representatives of China to the United Nations, and to expel the Taiwan representatives from all the organizations related to the United Nations. So after that, the United Nations discussed with China about the succession plan of the Chinese translators, and later they decided to establish a joint training program in China, which was based in Beihai. So we still have many translators who graduated from this program. Okay, and then it was discontinued in like 1993, and after that, beginning in 21st century, the United Nations decided to open the exam, the competitive examinations to all, so everyone can sign up and take the exam. So the Chinese translation service in New York, so we have a chief. When I joined the United Nations in 2007, our chief came from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Chinese government. She was before joining the UN, she was the director of translation department of MFA. And then we have a chief, and then we have three officers. Programming officer, who is responsible for daily operations, to assign translation tasks to the translators and revisers. And then we have a training officer responsible for learning and development of the team. And we have a quality control officer. And then we have several other P5 senior revisers. And then we have P4 revisers, P2, P3 entry-level translators. And we also have editorial and desktop publishing assistants and then language assistants. Okay, this is the recruitment framework. Our salaries and benefits are decided by the International Civil Service Commission, ICSC. So we are all international civil servants, so our compensation packages. So transparency is the key, right? So everything can be found on ICSC website. So your compensation, your salaries and benefits are decided according to several rules, like your category, your grade and level, and your work experience and the duty station. For example, we have different levels of post adjustment for the different duty stations, and whether you have a family, you have dependents or not. These are all the different factors. So when you join the UN, you are entry level, like P2, P3 translators, and then after 2 year, at most a 3 year training, you hopefully will become self-reviser or self-revising translator, and then reviser, and then senior reviser. That's the career path. We have many training programs, like division level learning and development program and service training. We have workshops, lectures, seminars, etc. To help you grow, and you can also learn from your mentor and from the feedback of the revisers. And we also have a self-paced learning website. This platform is called Spot, and we have like 20-something self-paced courses that you can learn from So what we do and how we do it. Now, we translate the parliamentary documents, publications, and communications from English, more than 90% of our work. And we also translate it from French, Spanish, Russian, and Arabic into Chinese. Only about less than, I think it's around like 1% is from Chinese into English, mainly the communications from Chinese government. So every document has a deadline, and very tight deadline that we must meet. So we work in teams. For example, we often have very long documents. We have to assign it to a team. We have to work together as a team to deliver. Okay? These are the types of documents that we translate. Like UN General Assembly or Security Council resolutions and decisions and reports of various reports, reports of Secretariat and other reports, for example, reports from peacekeeping missions and budgets, audits, audit reports, advisory opinions of the International Court of Justice, diplomatic correspondence, summary records, etc. So the workflow is like this. Author departments draft these reports, these documents, and then the editing department, editing section, edit these documents, and then we translate and revise and finalize these documents. And then these official documents are published in the official document system. It's open to public, so everybody has access to it. There are many factors to take into consideration when translating for the United Nations. Some of them are highly sensitive because of political nuances, and you also have to respect historical texts, those references, and also the UN norms that you have to abide by, resources and tools we use in our work. So this is the portal. It's called the e-conferences portal, and you can see there are different tools. GDoc, Eluna, and UN Term, for example. GDoc is the tool that we use to assign and receive assignments, the translation, the documents that you need to work on. And after you complete the translation, you upload through this platform, and you start and end your assignments here. And Eluna is the CAT tool that we use for translation. It's like this. This is only a draft. And sometimes the segments can be, you can find similar segments in translation memory that will appear here. And you will see some terms in this window. Right? And UN Term Portal, this is the United Nations Terminology Database. You can see some of the terms here in this window in Luna. But if you want to get more information, you can log on to UN Term Portal to see, to get more information, to see other information. For example, when the term was added to the term base. And also, very often you can see detailed explanation of why we decide why the Chinese version of the terms are decided. And this is the official document system. All the official documents are published on this platform. Next, how to become a UN translator. So first, what type of translators we're looking for? We're looking for holistic qualities of good translators in the modern era. You must have the knowledge and skills, necessary skills. Some are trainable, some are not trainable. You must have the team spirit. We often have to work in a team to collaborate closely with other colleagues, and even colleagues from other departments. You must have a technological awareness. You must be able to deliver under pressure. You must have the willingness to keep learning. You must be able to adapt to changes and deal with uncertainty. And after 2 or 3 years of training, you must reach that level of self-revising translators. Otherwise, the contract will be discontinued. So if you think you are a perfect candidate and you are interested in working for the United Nations, you can. This is the UN careers website. Okay, you can create an account on this website to receive notifications of job vacancies. For example, this year we published this JO of competitive examination for Chinese translators, editors, and verbatim reporters. Okay, it was published in January, and we are now round 1 was completed already. We are now in the process of grading the papers. So the requirements for taking the exam. You need to have a university degree. We do not require you to have advanced degrees because we want to open the exam to postgraduate students who are still have not yet got their degrees. The age requirement, you have to be able to work for a reasonable number of years for the UN before you retire. Language requirements. You must have perfect command of Chinese. You must be an excellent Chinese writer. Chinese must be your mother tongue. You must have excellent knowledge of English. Also, so how to apply? The Inspira is the website that we use. When you see the job vacancy, when you see the JO, you can create a profile. Click that link. It will bring you to this Inspira website. You create a profile, complete your application, and follow the instructions. There are some job fit questions. So how we evaluate? For screening, we will look at how you answer the questions and how you write your motivation statement. And if you meet all the requirements, then you will be invited to sit the first part of the exam. The exam has 3 parts, 3 rounds. The part 1, we have 2 translation exercises. The first exercise is general text. You have to translate it from English to Chinese, and then the second exercise is specialized text, either legal or economic. And And we may also have a technical text for you to translate. You can choose one of them to translate, and then we have a post-editing exercise. So if you pass part 1, you will be invited to sit part 2. Again, we have a general text for you to translate, a specialized text for you to translate, and then we have a text of other languages, like Arabic, French, Spanish, or Russian for you to translate. Or you can also choose to translate from Chinese to English. And then part 3 is the competence-based interview, just side translation. Yeah. And all these exams for these exams, it's fully anonymous. So it's managed by the United Nations Office of Human Resources, and it's fully remote. The exam is fully remote, and we will use a platform, a dedicated platform for this exam. So basically that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. That's perfect timing. Thank you very much. I believe now we have better idea of how the translation team in the UN works, thanks to Mr. Fei's very detailed introduction.